filled with compassion and empathy. He has been part of many committees, and his contribution on judicial as well as administrative side is invaluable to the institution. During his entire tenure, Brother Justice Ganga Rao has disposed of around 8,100 cases. Brother Justice Ganga Rao has delivered many landmark judgments, one of which I would particularly refer in the matter of P. Rajasekhar. He held that it is the constitutional duty of the state to protect the faith of the devotees, to prevent ill feelings among them for non-performing daily pujas and Nitya Naivedyam. He observed that it is the bounden duty of the state government to see that the temple premises should not be inundated due to leakage and seepage of water, and that the state government should spend the entire amount earmarked for that particular purpose. He ruled that lapses on the part of authorities concerned in designing and constructing the wall to prevent the entry of flood water into the temple is illegal, and the government should take appropriate steps to prevent this activity. In his demitting the office, we are losing a very good judge, as Brother Justice would be hanging his robes on 7th of April. I am sure that after his retirement, he would always be eager to lend his helping hand whenever this institution requires his services. I wish Justice Ganga Rao a happy, healthy and peaceful life, and good luck on my own behalf and on behalf of brother and sister judges. Thank you.
With the permission of my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, may I request the Land Advocate General, High Court of Andhra Pradesh, to deliver his speech on behalf of legal fraternity.
My Lords, the Honorable the Chief Justice, my Lord Justice Ganga Rao, my Lords, the Honorable Judges, family members of Justice Ganga Rao and Honorable Judges, President Bar Association, Chairman Bar Council, Deputy Solicitor General, Public Prosecutor, Senior Counsel, Law Officers of Government, Registry Officials, and Advocate Community. All of us would recall our early days in the profession, where we have a designated senior who all of us are very attentive to and disciplined to. But we also have an experience of an immediate senior who leaves office just prior to joining office, but comes back to attach himself to the goings on in the office. And Justice Ganga Rao was one of those team members of Justice C.V. Ramlu. Just prior to my joining, and after that he was loosely attached with the work of Justice C.V. Ramlu. So when we have somebody that is not a junior in the office, but comes to the office early in the morning, much earlier to all of us, and his example is taken by your senior to say this is how juniors behave, you start hating the person. I started hating Mr. Ganga Rao. And then when the pecking order comes to be seated in the car, it is the tradition of the office that the senior most amongst the enrolled juniors gets to sit in the front sitting row of the car, and then the clerk and the others pack into the rear seat. So as soon as Mr. Ganga Rao walks into the office, my senior would tap and say, "Get back," to one of my enrolled senior colleagues, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, and would usher Mr. Ganga Rao into the front row. I hated him much more. And then, en route, while the senior doesn't give us any concessions on coming late or taking a detour because we have got to go to another court, but in case Mr. Ganga Rao has to go to a labor court or the civil court, the car goes there first, gets him dropped. The other senior gets to go into the front, and then we reach the court and then get parked in the appointed place. He was my sworn enemy by that time. And as if all this is not enough, this man comes back to the office once in a while in the evening, just as if to check if all the other things are in order and if juniors are working properly. And then starts reminiscing stories of how well the office was when certain other people were in the office. He was hardly there 3 years ago and I didn't see any difference. But he would go about how juniors would be working very hard and how juniors have to work like this. And therefore I thought this was an unwelcome interference in an otherwise family-like atmosphere, because just as Justice Ganga Rao did, the family of Mr. Ramlu and my family and Justice Ganga Rao's family have known each other for so long. Then soon after we joined the profession, we had a very liberal senior who would not monitor or micromanage what we argue in court. And more importantly, there are no complaints taken back. But when we have a senior, not so senior, office, not in office, looking at your performance in court, by about evening 4 o'clock, my senior would get a complete report on what went on in court. And my senior goes, "What happened in court today? It appears so-and-so judge has said something about how you represented in matter." We are inquiring as to who is it that he would go and very clearly narrate chapter and verse what happened in court. In 3 months' time, we knew Justice Ganga Rao was spying on all of us. Then we knew that this man is not safe for our upkeep and health, and therefore all of us need to come together and ensure that he doesn't join in the car. But that was a few of those things. But knowing Justice Ganga Rao, he comes from a very modest background. He comes from a situation where empathy and compassion is absent in the surroundings in which the early schooling or early neighborhood can be. But the manner in which he strove manfully getting over all those setbacks in life and had a smile all the time to get over. And as with any first generation lawyer, the period of struggle can be a little prolonged and also repetitive. But all through the time between 1992 to 2001, by the time he became a central government standing counsel, those were tough times. And the manner in which Justice Ganga Rao showed to us that a first generation lawyer, by his pluck, sheer integrity and determination, and with a positive outlook towards every other person that is in the same work field as to how it can imbibe certain value systems in him, Justice Ganga Rao is a living embodiment of the same. And I have had some kind of an understanding also with him, where many of our matters which would have to go to labor court, we would engage him, and so he was our lawyer also in a few matters. Not only that, Mrs. Ganga, I have been a client of Mrs. Ganga Rao also. So if my face is pardonable and tolerable today, it is because of 3 meetings I had with her with my dentures, and I am still able to smile without being embarrassed about how I look. And that is how Dr. Uma Devi also has been of a lot of nurturing and care to me. When it comes to understanding Justice Ganga Rao's personality, his immediate default response to a cause before the learned judge is empathy. The law can matter if it matters in perhaps the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th line of inquiry that the learned judge would undertake. So he is in every sense a citizen's lawyer. And after I appeared a couple of times before his lordship in a division bench, I found out how difficult it was to be a state counsel in his court, because the line of questioning has always been with reference to how justice can be administered. And though his lordship was elevated in 2017, I do not recall having appeared in his lordship's court while being on the side of the petitioner. So while being on the side of the respondent, I came to know here deeply his lordship's concern and sympathy for the disadvantaged and the voiceless. And whenever any one of the government leaders in my presence or otherwise had raised questions of law, his lordship would come back to say questions of law can come back for a better case and not for this case. I have known you, Justice Ganga Rao, as 30 years. I have known you as Gangana, I have known you as a person who had built around me very so nurturingly a Suraksha Chakra, considering that I could be a little difficult in my own ways. The manner in which you put me down at the bar, the manner in which you have guided me at the bar, asking me to take a step back, take a breath back, and of course, sometimes you have also been threatening. All of this has been a part of knowing Justice Ganga Rao at levels closer than many people at the bar. It has enriched me. It has enriched my understanding of the law and men and matters. Of course, your Lordship's relevance to society and matters would be more now that your Lordships have a lot of free time also to nurture other passions of yours. On the occasion of your demitting office, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the best, your family and your son a nurturing time with a doting father, and may all that is good happen to you here and ever after, and may God be with you and your family for all times to come.
With the permission of my Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice, may I request the Land President of the Bar Association, High Court of Andhra Pradesh, to deliver his speech on behalf of legal fraternity.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice, Honorable Judges of this Court, family members of the Honorable Justice Sri Ganga Rao Garu, Land Advocate General, respected Chairman Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh, Land Deputy Solicitor General, Land Public Prosecutor, Senior Advocates, Women Advocates, my dear colleague advocates. It is honor to address the full court on the eve of farewell to Sri Justice M. Ganga Rao Garu. My Lord, Sri M. Ganga Rao Garu was born on 8/4/1961 at Guntakallu village, Anantapur district. My Lord did his schooling in Jilla Parishad High School, Pendekal, Anantapur district. Pendekal, it is in Kurnool district, and studied intermediate CEC group in Government Junior College, Anantapur, and degree in Commerce in Government Degree College, Anantapuram. My Lord obtained Master's degree in Commerce in the year 1983 and Law degree from Usmania University in the year 1987. My Lord got enrolled on the rolls of the Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh on 5/2/1988 and joined in the chambers of Sri Justice B.S. Swami Garu. After 3 years, joined in the chambers of Justice C.V. Ramulu when he was Senior Central Government Standing Counsel at that time in the High Court of Andhra Pradesh. My Lord was appointed as Assistant Government Pleader and continued in the year 1994 and continued up to 1996 in the Composite High Court of Andhra Pradesh. Again appointed as Assistant Government Pleader from 1/1/2001 to 5/5/2004 in the High Court of Andhra Pradesh. Later, my Lord was appointed as Government Pleader for Transport and for the Department of Roads and Buildings from 17/7/2009 and worked till 16/7/2014. My Lord was also appointed as Additional Central Government Standing Counsel in the Composite High Court of Andhra Pradesh and worked 12/1/1995 to 16/1/2006. My Lord acquired vast experience in handling cases pertaining to Revenue Department, Transport Department, and Service Law. My Lord got elevated to the bench as Judge of the Honorable High Court of Judicature for the State of Telangana and for the State of Andhra Pradesh on 21/9/2017. My Lord used to encourage young advocates and very much cordial with the bar and used to hear the advocates with utmost patience. My Lord was ever smiling and active while discharging the functions as a judge of High Court and enhanced the values of judiciary. My Lord dealt with almost all types of cases like revenue, civil, criminal, and service matters. During his Lordship's tenure, has delivered number of landmark judgments. One of the judgment is reported, that is S.V. Nageshwar Rao and others, reported in 2022 SCC, that is with regard to criminal case sitting in a division bench, that is with regard to motive in the case of, if there is a direct trustworthy evidence of witness as to the commission of an offence, the motive part will lose its significance. In another case reported in Bajaj alias General Insurance versus G. Ramachandra Prasad, His Lordship decided that there is no embargo to award compensation more than that claimed by the claimant. Rather, it is obligatory for the tribunal and court to award just compensation even if it is in the excess of the amount claimed. In another case filed by first year MBBS student challenging the action of Health University in not furnishing copies of his physiology paper 1, His Lordship categorically held that Vice Chancellor has no power to revalidate the answer scripts and dismiss the writ petition. In a similar case reported in AR 2022 SC 5523, the Honorable Apex Court upheld the view taken by my Lord. My Lord always appears with smile on the bench and never lost his cool, and it is due to his Lordship's hard work, diligence, simplicity and working ability which has gained the trust of the members of the bar. My Lord has created a special place in the hearts of every member of legal fraternity, and we are grateful for every endeavor that His Lordship has made in upholding the rule of law and also for keeping good relationships between bar and bench. Now, as His Lordship is demitting the office, we would miss his presence in the High Court. I, on behalf of the Andhra Pradesh High Court Advocates Association, thank Honorable Justice Sri M. Ganga Garu for his services to the bar and the bench, and wish him and his family very happy and peaceful life. Thank you.
With the permission of my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, may I request the Land Chairman, Bar Council for the State of Andhra Pradesh to deliver his speech on behalf of legal fraternity.
The Honorable Chief Justice Prashant Kumar Misra ji, Justice Ganga Ram ji, other learned judges, Mrs. Misra ji and other family members of the learned judges, Land Advocate General Sriram, President of the Association Janaki Ramareddy, Deputy Solicitor General Harnath, Land Public Prosecutor Nagireddy Garu, and members of the Bar Council, senior advocates, registrars and staff of the association. Ladies and gentlemen, today the learned judge, Justice Ganga Ram, is demitting his office. I have opportunity and I came in acquaintance with Justice Ganga Ram Garu only after he joined in Justice C.V. Ramulu's office. Though previously I am not well acquainted with him, because I used to assist just another council to the APSRTC, Harinath, and C.V. Ramulu Garu was also happened to be standing counsel to the APSRTC. So therefore we are having a close acquaintance with the office of the C.V. Ramulu Garu at that time. And the Gangaram Garu was the same person as an individual with the same traits and character. After he became as an advocate and after becoming a judge, today when he is retiring today, there is no change. See of humanity. And all the laws are being interpreted keeping in mind an ordinary prudent man's view. It is this learned judge who is having to be treated that all of a common man presence in the judiciary. We feel that he is representing an ordinary, prudent, a common man in the judiciary. Therefore, entire career he has his approach is only suits to that of analyzing as an ordinary, prudent man. He may not be a jurist judge, but he is a common man judge. And there is no, because I met the learned Justice Gangaram Garu on the day when he was elevated. And there is no power that was empowered the learned judge never affected him, and he is coming out now as a same position, the same attitude, unaffected by these, undergoing the process of exercising the power as a judge of the highest judiciary. I wish him and his family members happy retired life. Thank you. Thank you.
With the permission of my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, may I request the Land Deputy Solicitor General, High Court of Andhra Pradesh, to deliver his speech on behalf of legal fraternity.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice, My Lord Justice M. Ganga Garu, Judges of this Honorable Court, family members of the Honorable Judges, Learned Advocate General, President of the Bar Association, Chairman of the Bar Council, Public Prosecutor, Senior Advocates, Law Officers of this Court, ladies and gentlemen. My Lord Justice Ganga Garu, right from his student days, was known to respond to social causes, and he was a student leader as well. His response to social issues, we could see him respond in the same manner while disposing of matters in the court as well. That quality in Justice Ganga Garu has won the hearts of the bar, and he remains in the memory of the bar as a common man judge, common man lawyer, and as rightly said by the Learned Advocate General, that it is difficult to convince my Lord appearing from the state side, though in several hotly contested matters, my Lord's efforts in striking a balance, we still remember, and my Lord will definitely, the bar will miss this quality from tomorrow onwards on the bench. At this hour, I would like to pray the God to grant good health and bright future, so that your Lordship's services can be extended further to the judiciary. Thank you.
With the permission of my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, may I request Honorable Sri Justice M. Ganga Garu to give his Lordship's reply.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice of Andhra Pradesh High Court, Prashant Kumar Misraji, my esteemed brother and sister judges, P.S. Sriram, Learned Advocate General, Sri Ganta Ramarao, Chairman, Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh, K. Janakram Reddy, President of High Court of Advocates Association, Sri P. and Sri K. Nagreddy, Learned Public Prosecutor, and Sri N. Harinath, Learned Deputy Solicitor General of India, and Sri S. Dushyant Reddy, Learned Additional Public Prosecutor, learned and respected senior members of the bar, learned government pleaders, learned assistant government pleaders, legal officers, senior advocates, registrars and officials of the High Court, my wife Srimati Dr. B. Uma Devi and my son M. Sai Chetan, good evening to all. My thanks to Sri S. Sri Ram, Learned Advocate General, and Sri Ganta Ramarao for saying good words about me. I had my school education during the period between 1971 and 1976 at Jilla Parishad High School, Pendekal Railway Station, Tuggali Mandal, Pattikonda Taluk, Kurnool District, which is a severely drought-affected area. During that period, I stayed in the hostel run by the philanthropist. They used to get meager grants from the government. The school serves educational needs of about 10 surrounding villages. The contemporaneous society, village people have shown lot of love and affection, compassion to the hostel students. They used to take care of the hostel students in many ways. I could not forget the compassion shown by the villagers. Thereafter, I have continued my studies and obtained degree from degree in law from Usmania University in the year 1987. Being a postgraduate in commerce, I thought of starting business, but my parents doubted about my business skills. Then I got enrolled as an advocate on 5th February 1988 on the rolls of the Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh. Initially, I joined in the office of Sri Justice B. Chandraya when he was standing counsel for AP Scheduled Caste Finance Corporation. After 6 months of my juniorship, later I had got a doubt whether I could succeed in the profession or not and thought to shift to another vocation or job. I stopped to practice for about 2 months to take a decision by consulting elders and friends. My father, late Sri M. Chintamani, told me that for my nature, job is not suitable and except advocate profession. And my mother also, Srimati Govindamma, told me to continue advocate profession. And she stated that they would not depend on him. Due to my parents' encouragement and friends, I joined in the office of late Sri Justice B.S.A. Swami when he was a leading advocate of High Court, as well as he is the champion of backward caste communities. I did my juniorship in his chambers from June 1989 to 1991. I did my juniorship in his office for about 3 years, continuously, rigorously, and my office hours were from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. I read almost all the office files and used it to write notes and citations on the docket. When I left the office, my senior bothered about me as to how this innocent man would survive in the profession. Later, I started independent practice and used it to be very punctual to the court. I used to attend the court work for 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Forenoon session, I used to sit in the admission courts and afternoon in the library. During the period, Sri Justice C.V. Ramlu, now present Lokayukta for the state of Telangana, was the standing counsel for the central government and also APSRTC, picked me up and encouraged in the profession by entrusting the work of writing counters in his office after my office hours. Whenever I was free in my office, I used to attend his office work and in turn he used to pay money for my maintenance and also used it to pick up and drop me in his car. He allowed me to use his office library. He slowly made me part of his office. Later I was treated as his junior. Later on his one of his junior, late Sri Jaganmohan Rao, advocate, expired suddenly due to heart attack. He used to appear independently before the lower courts and high courts. My senior asked me to look after his office cases and asked me to get the bundles from his office and kept in my room with instructions whoever asked for return of the bundles to return or otherwise took wakalat for appearing before the courts. Thereafter, I appeared before the Labour Court, High Court and administrative tribunals. I gathered sufficient work when I was negotiating the preferred stage. I am negotiating the stage of full work, no money. I was negotiating the stage of full work and no money by collecting less wages so the expenses were more. I became frustrated youth for the happenings around me. Sometimes I had a wordy duel, altercation with the section people and resisted to get the matters listed. Sri Justice C.V. Ramulu stoutly told me not to go to the sections and directed me to entrust the section work to the clerks. He used to take me to Sri Ramakrishna Math and to meet Swamiji's Sri Vivekananda Kendra for spiritual discourses and used to send me to yoga camps at Hyderabad and also used to take me to the temple Sirdi. I used to simply follow his advice and used to go along with him. Why I am stating all these things? Because he groomed me to reach this present position. He is my mentor and he is also like my elder brother. I am deeply indebted to him. Later, I was very fortunate enough as the government has given several assignments such as standing council, assistant government peeder, government peeder. I was engaged an assistant government peeder for revenue during the period from 2000 to 2004 and was attached to Sri P. Rajagopal Rao, who was the then government peeder for revenue general. I was also fortunate enough to work with him and learned revenue laws. He encouraged me by entrusting court work, and his valuable advice helped me a lot to come up in legal profession. I am very much indebted to him. My revered, the then law officer of APSRTC, Subramaniam, who is expert in transport and labor laws, had guided me on several aspects to be a successful man in this legal profession. My rich experience shows that real spirituality alone is the solution for all social ills and problems. My advice to you all is to adopt real spirituality to lead happy and contented life. The collegium headed by His Lordship Sri Justice Dilip Baba Saheb Bhosle had recommended my name along with 5 names for evaluation as the judge of the Andhra Pradesh High Court. Even after clearing the names by the Honorable Supreme Court, our names were not cleared and notified by the central government for a long period of 1.5 years. I thought that the list could not be cleared, and also day by day I am losing the work. But at the initiation of His Lordship Justice Sri Justice Elmester, Judge Supreme Court of India, now retired, the list got cleared and a notification was issued. I took office of the oath. I am very grateful to His Lordship for timely initiation. Then the people used to say that we are lucky people and then started calling us lucky six. During my tenure as a judge, I had the privilege of sitting with senior colleagues on the benches, namely Sri Justice Ramesh Ranganathan Garu when he was the acting Chief Justice of High Court of Judicature of Andhra Pradesh, State of Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh, Sri Justice V. Subramaniam Garu, Sri Justice C.V. Nagarjan Reddy Garu, and Sri Justice Sanjay Kumar Garu. They received me and treated me well. I learned several principles of law from them and also learned how to conduct court proceedings. They rendered valuable advice to me. I also had the privilege of sitting with Sri Justice V. Sivasankar Rao, Sri Justice Sameem Akhtar in special criminal benches. From them I learned criminal work too. After bifurcation and the creation of separate High Court for the state of Andhra Pradesh, I had an advantage of sitting with the then Honorable Chief Justice J.K. Maheshwari Ji, Honorable Sri Justice C. Praveen Kumar, Honorable Justice Sri S.V. Bhatt, Honorable Justice B. Sitaramamurthy, Honorable Justice A.V. Seshai, Honorable Justice Sri Rakesh Kumar, and Honorable Justice Sri Jaimala Bakshi. I got rich experience with them and their advice helped me a lot to discharge my duties as a judge. I also sat with Srimati Justice T. Rajni and Justice U. Durga Prasad Rao in special criminal benches. I learned how to assess the evidence in criminal cases to come to just conclusion. All of them shown me brotherly affection and guided me well. I cannot forget my association with them. My mentor, Sri Justice C.V. Ramalu, after my elevation, stoutly told me that I have to always remember the oath and discharge the functions as a judge of the High Court. Keeping his advice in my mind, I discharged my functions as a judge of the High Court. At times, my harshness towards advocate is only to seek their full assistance to dispose of the cases, but I had no intention to insult them. The bar has extended all their cooperation to dispose of the cases. They treated me well. I am very thankful to their assistance in disposing of the cases. I am very thankful to Honorable Chief Justice Prashant Kumar Mishra Ji, as His Lordship is kind enough to allot me bench work to lead the division bench. My junior colleague judges who sat with me have fully cooperated with me in disposing of the cases. My junior colleagues who sat with me, namely Justice Dr. V.R.K. Krupasagar, Justice T. Mallikarjun Rao, Justice B. Syamasundar, Justice A.V. Ravindra Babu, Justice Ravi Chimalapati, Justice V. Srinivas, Justice B.V.L.N. Chakravarti, Justice V. Gopalakrishna Rao and Justice Duppala Venkatramana assisted me by giving valuable legal advices in disposing of the case. And with their cooperation, I will be able to dispose of the cases sitting in the division bench. There is this old saying, behind every successful man there is a lady. My wife, Dr. Uma Devi, extended all cooperation in my legal profession, and she silently paid all the brunt of my legal profession and extended her full cooperation in discharging my functions as a judge. Because of her support, I could able to reach this position and discharge my functions. My son Sai Chetan also supported and extended his cooperation to discharge the functions of justice. My personal secretary, Sri Nageswara Rao, additional personal secretary, Sri Sridhar, rendered their valuable service to me to discharge my duties and made me comfortable. The court masters who attend my court regularly, namely B. Padma, V. Vijay Durga, Srimati A. Vijayalakshmi, and Ms. Lakshmi Satyapriya, and court officers who tendered their invaluable service and made the court function effectively. My law clerk, Ms. Shagupta Shah Noor, also used to assist me by picking up the citations. My driver Sheikh Wagzi has rendered his service and made my journey to Hyderabad and here and my administrative district comfortable. My personal staff at my residence at Hyderabad and here rendered their valuable service and made me comfortable. Men may come and men may go, but the institution stands forever. We all have responsibility to protect His Majesty by adopting rich traditions of this court. Jai Hind.
With the permission of my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, I declare that proceedings are concluded.